I've got 8% battery and a lot to talk about, so we're gonna get into it. So, an update from me. Number one, first and foremost, I went to New York, which was insane. If you have been following this channel, or if you've been following my Instagram for a hot minute, you'll realize that I fucking love US culture. Everything about it. I would, if I had it my way, I would live out there in a heartbeat as well, but Nat likes it in the UK, so we're going to be stuck in the UK. It is my absolute forever dream to buy a house in America and then basically rent it out and then just have it as a holiday home. That would be my absolute pipeline dream if my business ever gets to a point and a position where I can just basically like hand over everything to someone else and just have it running in the background. I would 100% be in America for like 6 months of the year, 100%. Um, but yeah, I met Jordan Belfort just in the Thanksgiving parade. I put it on Instagram and everyone was like, "Oh, did you have to pay to meet him?" It's like, no, he was literally just randomly in the Thanksgiving parade, which is super weird and super funny because it's just like I was looking at him and he looked at me and I kept looking at him and then he was like nodded at me like it's me, like it's okay. So I went over, said hello, gave him a few business gave him a bit of business advice. But yeah, super nice guy. But that was very surreal. Yeah, super weird. Also, the guy who plays Dustin from Stranger Things, we met him outside of Madison Square Garden. We had like a 2 second chat, but he was really nice as well. I didn't get a photo with him, but which I really wish I did because yeah, he's sick. Also, the guy who plays Hopper from Stranger Things was there as well, and he was with Dustin. But yeah, I didn't chat to him. But yeah, New York, man, is fucking wild. Also went to the 9/11 memorial, which was less than wild. I always see like pictures of like 9/11 stuff, and I'm always like, how in the actual fuck did that happen? Like, it's actually nuts when you think about it. Like, the whole logistics of it is absolutely wild. Like, some dude's just got on a plane and just smashed into a building. It's fucking nuts. The museum is absolutely incredible as well. Like, literally, like, mind blowing. Um, you come out of it a little bit depressed, I'm not gonna lie, because obviously you're on a high about being in New York. You come out of it like, oh, kind of a bit groggy. I suspect it's probably the same feeling if you go to like the Auschwitz camp. But nevertheless, they've done a stellar job with that. Not that they'll ever watch this vlog, but that was very cool. But if you're ever in New York, I would highly recommend going there. We didn't actually do it last time because we ran out of time, but we made it a priority to do it this time, and it was fantastic. We did stay in Midtown, which obviously Thanksgiving parade and stuff like that is very busy, but we spent a lot of our time in like the Tribeca area and Soho, and that was really cool. Where Casey Neistat lives, if you give a fuck. So that's that. Came back, a little bit jet lagged, but nothing too major. The one thing that I would recommend if you are from the UK and you go to America, the one thing I really would recommend is to go there for a very short amount of time. Because if you go there for a short amount of time, you won't get as jet lagged because you don't really adjust to any body clock. So that's my pro tip. But that's that. Nat's still pregnant, so that's an update. Which is always quite fun walking around in the city when, I don't know if you know this, you should know this now, but pregnant people pee a lot. And in New York it was like, piss, coffee shop, piss. And I was fucking wired because every time I went to a coffee shop they wanted you to buy something, so she could have a piss, so you have to show a receipt and go to the toilet. And I was honestly probably had about, I think the Thanksgiving parade I probably had about 11 espressos. It was a lot. I was wired. Probably the reason why I didn't have much jet lag. I was just off my face. But yeah, that's good. Training. I'm now running a 3-day split. You're probably more excited about this section of the vlog. I'm now running a 3-day split. Reasons for it. My working hours have encroached on average about 100 hours a week. So I just don't have time to do much else. However, I've basically run the 3-day split for 3 weeks now, and oh my god, it's unreal. It's so good. It feels amazing. You have that appetite to go to the gym all the time. Like, you want to go to the gym like all the time. Like today I had a rest day and I literally just can't wait to get back into the gym. It's really cool. Like it's really fucking awesome. And I'm loving training, which is good. It's kind of nice having like zero pressure on yourself and just loving training. I feel like I was putting a lot of pressure on myself before, where I'm always like, you have to beat numbers. It's like I'm going into the gym and having that priority. However, with the 3-day split, you're so recovered that it's just really inevitable. Obviously, you got to hit your food. It's really inevitable that you're gonna beat numbers. So yeah, that's quite cool. So there's that element. In terms of like nutritional like stuff, my rate of gain at the minute has been fairly slow, which is good. I kind of want it to be slow, so I'm very much on track for that 3-year off season. The more I go into this off season, the more my head is not against competing again, but it's definitely so far out of my head at the minute that right now I can pretty much say that I don't want to compete again. But that's not saying I'm focusing this off season on the fact that I am going to compete again. However, it's a very, very, very high likelihood that I probably won't compete again. Which is fine. I mean, a lot of my physique clients, I'd say 10% of them compete, the rest of them don't. So I'll just be in that category, right? So that's that. Business-wise, we did have the agreement in the last vlog that I'd actually speak a bit more about business. Business-wise is okay. I'm actually going to be, because I did shut up shop for one-to-one clients a few months ago, I'm actually going to be introducing a couple more slots, and that's going to be in 2 weeks. So if you are ever interested in working with me from a one-to-one level, then let me know. I suppose like we are going to be looking at new coaches or coaches to deliver the upgrade in future. So if you're an online coach, then yeah, get in touch, because essentially we are going to be onboarding a few coaches to run the upgrade series. On the business aspect behind the scenes, from the elevation standpoint, I definitely rushed into hiring coaches too quickly. So I think that here's like a little bit of like, if you are an online coach and you're looking to hire people, what I would say is please do your scouting, do your scout work. It's what I'll always tell to people anyway when I'm mentoring them. It's like always do some scout work, because yeah, I hired a couple of coaches this year and it's not turned out terribly, but it's not what I needed from a coach. I got to the point where I was like babysitting. Let's not beat around the bush. It was near enough babysitting coaches rather than like just here you go, here's the action plan, go and do it. So yeah, I just basically need to do a bit more scouting. That's definitely my error. So yeah, I think with the coaches that we're going to be onboarding for next year, there's definitely going to be a scouting process, so that's all good. The really good thing is with business is that it's much the same as like bodybuilding. It's like it's a lot of like trial and error, especially when your company gets a little bigger, right? You have to just be like I'm dealing with numbers that me like even 2 years ago would have just laughed at, like obscene. Like I think for a new online coach, you kind of get into this and you're like, oh, I can earn like 30 grand a year and I can work anywhere and stuff like that. It's like when you're doing nearly double that, if not triple that, every single month from one business, it's wild, like wild. But that's kind of where the business is at, and to put a spin on it with like the whole, I suppose like the business aspect, and to potentially like take people behind the scenes and stuff like that. The way we've done that is actually very, very simple, and it's basically using a marketing strategy that fits and aligns with me as a person. So one thing we'll always teach with the coaches trainer guys, which is the business that I have separate to Elevation, which is also on its way to be making a fair whack as well. But one thing I'll always say is like, if you market effectively and you market to you as a person and you don't market outside of your personality, you'll go so far, like so far. So yeah, I would always like, especially if you're trying to pick a mentor as an online coach, I would always just, if they're trying to get you to market and you're not comfortable with that marketing strategy, don't do it, because it's just not going to work. You know, they'll try and get you to like pay for ads, and they'll try and get you to just do some wild bullshit things like send 400 DMs and stuff like that. If you ever get to a point where your mentor is actually telling you that and you're not brand aligned with that, don't do it. It's not going to work. It's going to be such a waste of money, right? So with our guys, we basically assess your personality. We have a look at your business as a whole, where it's at, and then we basically brand align and direct. That's the best way to build a business. By far, the best way to build a business is to basically sit you down at one-to-one level and go, where are you? Who are you? What's your niche? Go from there, right? And we have 2 attack references, which is basically 2 points of view within marketing, basically. You have the clear CTA straight line marketing, which is basically, I have this product, come buy from me, basically. And you have the Coca-Cola style marketing, which online coaches will use a bunch, or basically both of them. So it's going to be, hi, I've got this product, come buy from me. The other ones, if you've ever watched a Coca-Cola advert, it's never like, go and buy Coke. It's always like, this is how you feel when you will buy Coke. So you sell the experience of it, right? So they're the 2 marketing strategies that we tend to go towards. Now, you as a person, you could either be more one side than the other, or more this side than the other. You could either be more straight line, to the point, punchy, or you can be a bit standoffish and go this way. The perfect scenario with online coaches is a bit of both, but again, personality types really dictate which one you're going to be. So yeah, that's cool. But again, like, you probably look at this vlog, and within this whole time frame, it's like travel, physique, business, and that's where my life is at right now. It's like business, big part, traveling, big part, obviously life outside of that, big part, physique, small. But it doesn't mean that I'm not gaining muscle. It doesn't mean I'm not prioritizing this, because I am. That's the really cool part. Like, you don't have to be fucking Ronnie Coleman or like, I suppose, like, you don't have to be from fucking Ultraflex. You don't have to be fucking eating cream of rice every 2.5 seconds. You don't have to be one of them people to make gains. Like, my diet right now consists of protein bar, some sort of Christmas sandwich, whatever I fancy for that day. I have a mince meal at about 4 o'clock, and then I'll have my last meal, and that'll all add up to about 200 grams of protein. But what I'm saying with that is, like, I am enjoying the fuck out of my life right now, but I'm still making gains. But I'm still prioritizing other aspects of life, not just physique. This also, like, kind of like creeps into online coaches as well, is where they put so much fucking effort into bodybuilding and physique related stuff and everything else like that. But when it comes down to business, the thing that they actually want to grow, they put 0 effort in, versus this one where they put a lot of effort in and they're reaping the rewards of it. So it's like, why don't you go and replicate this here, because then this will grow. All I've done over the last like 7 years is basically whatever I do in bodybuilding, I go and do the same with business. And guess what? It fucking grows. Business and bodybuilding are so fucking related. Delayed gratification, effort. That's it. That's literally it. If you put effort into business, you put effort into your physique, you'll see rewards. Same thing. Literally the same thing. But yeah, you see how like excited I am towards like the business aspect. That's where I'm at right now. And it's cool. I'm happy. It's cool. A lot of people will look at like, I work 100 hours and stuff like that and think, how are you going to deal with that with a kid? I've got asked that many times. And it's like, I will deal with it, 100%. I will do it. The really fact of the matter thing is right now, and I was speaking to Nat about this, is every hour that I work, I fucking love. Like I literally love it. Like I wake up every morning, and you know when that like, I know what it feels like because I've had the full-time job and I fucking hated it. You know when you have that alarm in the morning, and you're like, I literally, my alarm goes off and I'm up, and I'm ready. I'm at my desk and I'm just like, bang. So the 100 hours to some is like, oh my god, I could not do 100 hours on my job. I could easily, I say do double that, but obviously there's not enough hours in the week, but you get what I mean. Honestly, there's just so much to do. I'm so in love with like just learning more and more about business and teaching it to people. It's just fucking epic. And I used to absolutely love texts like, "Hey Jack, I PB'd." I still do. I still love that. But that text I get from a coach saying I have just increased my revenue by 2 or 3 grand a month, like that to me, mate, is fucking incredible. That feeling is so euphoric. Um, but yeah, okay. There's the update. I'll do a few more of these, I think, because it's just nice just to sit and chat in it. Alright. See you later.